All right, let's talk about gaining control over your finances. We're going to build a real, practical path forward so you can start telling your money exactly where to go instead of scratching your head at the end of the month wondering where it all went. So, let's just dive right in. And hey, if your answer is yes, you are so not alone. Seriously, financial stress is real and it can feel totally overwhelming. But look, this is a judgment-free zone. We're not going to look backward at what you should have done. Nope. We're all about building a plan for right now, starting today. Okay, so before we can start building, we've got to look at the ground we're building on. Why does saving sometimes feel, well, impossible, like you're trying to climb a mountain in flip-flops? Let's get into the real reasons. This quote, wow, it just hits the nail on the head, doesn't it? It's not just about the math, it's about this heavy emotional weight. I mean, listen to those words. Overwhelming, dominating. That's what we're talking about. That constant low-level buzz of worry that just drains you and makes it so hard to even think straight, let alone plan for the future. And you know what? That worry usually comes from stuff that's completely out of our hands. Just look at this list from that same study. Losing your job, a breakup, having to put groceries on a credit card just to get by. These are not character flaws, right? This is just life happening. And that's the key takeaway here. Getting into debt often has nothing to do with being bad with money and everything to do with just trying to get through tough times. Okay, so now that we've got that straight, it's time to get practical. Let's start building. Let's forge your first and, honestly, your most important line of defense. A shield, really, against all the curveballs life is going to throw at you. And that shield has a name, the emergency fund. I want you to think of it like that, a cash buffer standing between you and chaos. It's not extra money, it's not a luxury. It is an absolutely essential tool for your financial safety. This is the money that pays for the busted water heater or that surprise medical bill. But this is the big one, right? The question that just stops us cold. How much do I need? Because when you hear 3 to 6 months of expenses, it sounds like this huge, impossible number. And it's so intimidating, we just don't even start. But here's the good news. We're not starting there. So what's the first step? It's this simple. $1,000. That's it. $1,000. This isn't your forever goal, okay? It's your starter emergency fund. It's designed to be a quick win, something you can actually achieve that gives you that first incredible feeling of having a safety net. And this is why it's so powerful. Because with that $1,000 in the bank, when the car breaks down, it's an annoyance. It's frustrating, for sure. But it's not a full-blown crisis that forces you to rack up high-interest credit card debt. It literally breaks the cycle. All right, so you've got your starter shield. Now it's time to stop just defending and start playing offense. It's time to make a plan and tell every single one of your dollars what to do. Yep, you guessed it, we're talking about a budget. And one of the best ways to do this is with a zero-based budget. It sounds complicated, but it's not. It's actually super simple, just 3 steps. First, you list all your income, everything coming in. Second, list all your expenses. And third, you just subtract the expenses from the income until you hit 0. Now that doesn't mean you're broke. It just means you've given every single dollar a name and a job to do. It's powerful stuff. But what if things are really tight? How do you prioritize? Easy. You start with what are called the 4 walls. These are the absolute most important things. Before a single penny goes to anything else, you make sure these 4 things are covered. They are non-negotiable. Let's break that down. Look at this. On one side, you've got this stuff you can probably cut back on, at least for a little while. On the other side, those are your 4 walls, the things you have to protect. Look, the point isn't that you can never have fun. It's about being really, really honest with yourself about what's a want and what's a need. And you always, always take care of the needs first. Okay, this is getting good. You've got your starter emergency fund. You've got a budget where you're in the driver's seat. So what's next? How do we level up and actually make our savings start working for us? Well, depending on where you live, there can be some amazing tools out there. In the UK, for example, they have something called an ISA, an individual savings account. The easiest way to picture it is like a tax-free wrapper. You put your money inside this wrapper, and any interest it earns, any growth it has, it's all yours, no tax. It's a huge deal. And they basically come in 2 main flavors. You've got your cash ISA, which is super safe, kind of like a normal savings account, perfect for that emergency fund we talked about. Then you have the stocks and shares ISA. This one lets you invest your money. Now, that comes with more risk, of course, but also the chance for much bigger growth over time. We're talking long-term goals here, like 5 years out or more. The point is, you use the right tool for the job. And the potential here is, well, it's massive. Every year, you can put up to 20,000 pounds into these accounts. Think about that. Over time, that allows you to build a really significant nest egg, completely tax-free. It's an absolute game changer for building wealth. Okay, so we've talked about the tools, the strategies, the numbers. But let's talk about the most important piece of this whole puzzle, and that's you. Because if this isn't sustainable, none of it matters.
And I love this piece of advice. Why? Because it's not from some financial guru on a yacht. It's from a regular person on Reddit, just sharing what they've learned. It's such a good reminder that, yeah, the hustle is great, the work ethic is great, but there is a real human cost if you push it too far.
Think about it. Working 60 hours a week might boost your income for a little while, sure. The numbers on the spreadsheet look good, but if it leads to total burnout, if you're mentally and physically exhausted all the time, that's not a win. That's not a sustainable plan. Your financial health should never, ever cost you your actual health. And that brings us to the most important takeaway of all. This is a journey of progress, not perfection. It starts with understanding that money has an emotional weight, right? Then building that small shield, that first $1,000. From there, it's about giving your money a plan, protecting those four walls first. But along the way, you have to cut yourself some slack. You will have setbacks. That's part of the process. The goal is just consistent forward movement, no matter how small. So the question I'll leave you with is this: what is one small step toward progress you can take today?